So again, we start from number 87. Many students ask this question. 87. Okay. Who will read this? Probably Diana. Diana, right? 87. What we have on 87?
Dr. Farber?
Yes.
Diana or Brianna?
Diana.
Okay. The wolf sees the rabbit from a distance of 800 meters away. The rabbit is running away from the wolf within a speed of 2 meters per second. If the wolf starts moving with a speed of 4 meters per second, how far will the rabbit go before the wolf catches him?
Okay, thank you. Why so many students ask this question? Did we solve this kind of questions? Many of them. First of all, in chapter 12, motion problem. And second, couple classes ago, remember this was a situation I showed like a little bit cartoon of this. It was Achilles and tortoise. Remember, similar? Or instead of Achilles, different personalities will participate in this. 87. Nice reading, Diana. Very good. You did it on time. Let me see this markers I use. Yes. So motion problem. For motion problem, make a picture first. Schematically. This H and this is B. The wolf, and this is the wolf, has rate, let me name it RW wolf, 4 meters per second. What else do we have? 800 meters in front. So this is 800 meters. Is whom? Rabbit. And let me use rate of rabbit. And this rate is given is 2 meters per second.
Dr. Farber?
Yes.
I had to leave for a couple of minutes again. My internet connection snapped again.
Okay. What can I tell?
I had to switch computers.
Switch.
I already switched.
Now, what we have here? How to do? When you make a picture, next step is make a matrix. Write down who we have here, wolf. And we have rabbit. We have two objects and properties of this. Rate, meter per second, time in seconds, and distance in meters. This is step number 2. The next step, incorporate data to this matrix. This is 4 and this is 2 respectively. And they start running at the same time, so they spend the same amount of time running. Only what difference? Difference in distances. And wolf will cover distance for x, and rabbit will cover 2x. What is 2x? 2x is this one. I just illustrate. And what is 4x? 4x is this one. And what they ask you to find? They ask you to find how far will the rabbit go before the wolf. They ask you to find 2x. This is a question, 2x's. Okay, using addition postulate, what is it? If from this or you can see this segment plus this segment give you this segment. Or you can write 4x, this big one, to save time, minus 2x's equals this distance, 800. Or combine like terms, 2x equals to 800. And distance meters. What you're supposed to do the next step? Who will tell me? Anybody?
Divide both parts by 2.
Divide by 2. Who agree with this step? Divide by 2. Raise hand. Okay, 50% of group, right? Who disagree with this step? Tell me, what is your opinion?
Because
What is the
2x
mark?
is what we're trying to find in the rabbit. The rabbit already is 2x. That's the question. We're not trying to find x. We're trying to find 2x.
Absolutely. We don't need to find like small kids. Find x, divide by 2, after that multiply by 2. This is my target. Just to find 2x. Did I find 2x? Yes, I found. Who checked that? Don't use extra step. You have 90 minutes for 57 questions. Not smart way. Divide by 2, find x, plug in here. It's already done. Good. Any questions, students? Raise your hand who understand up to this point, everything. Good, good, good. Who has questions? Typical multiple problem. Yes. Yes, ask me a question. You change your mind?
Can I rejoin the meeting? My screen is blurred.
Okay, rejoin, sure. Yes, let me close it. Again, soon, I'm gonna go through most request questions. After that, I'm gonna go back for these questions, okay? Let me see. First of all, most request questions. After that, we go back. Let me see, where is it? Next is 93. Okay, Brianna, 93, read please. Microphone, please.
In the quadrilateral ABCD interior, angle A and B have measures 110 degrees and 130 degrees, respectively. If the exterior angle C has a measure of 80 degrees, what is the measure of the interior angle D?
Okay, thank you. You see, in this problem, we don't have drawings, we don't have picture. So based on information given, build the picture. Let's say you have quadrilateral, 93. I make schematically this quadrilateral, kind of like this. Okay, any quadrilateral. They don't specify trapezoid or something. I make it just quadrilateral. Continue this side. And ABCD. What is given here? A base angle is 110. B is what? 130. I put different number of arcs. Exterior angle of C is, what is it, 80. This is 80. Okay. What the measure of interior angle D? Angle D is a question mark. Look at this. Let me find this angle. I make quarks. These two angles supplementary, since this is straight angle. So this angle C, I would name it DCB. Angle DCB equals 180 minus 80, which is 100 degrees. You can make some notes here. Supplementary. So this is 100 degrees. And this is X. Well, from fourth grade, you know the total of inner angles of any quadrilateral is 360 degrees, right? So add them up. X plus 110 plus 130 plus 100 equals to 360 degrees. If you combine like terms, you can easily find X. This will be the answer. Who need help with this equation? Combine like terms, find X. We did it for Mark Twain prep, right? This kind of equation. If you don't need help, let me go to some meaningful. Is it difficult questions? You know, what do you think? Okay, this was 93. My request, practice this picture. Without drawing, definitely you will not solve it. Okay, 94. 94. 94 is not text problem. I will solve it for you. What is given? In 94, given, what is it? A over B equals to 3 over 7. And B over C, or B to C, equals to 4 over 5. What to find? What the question? Find A over C. Find A to C, if I will correct it. A to C, A over B. Now look at this structure. If you multiply, just before solving, just look at this for a few seconds. If you multiply this left and right parts, what happens? A over B times B over C. This is left part. Immediately I can cancel out B. And I will get what? A over C. And what is right part? A 3 over 7 times 4 over 5. 3 over 7 times 4 over 5. 3 times 4 is 12. 7 times 5, 35. And this will be the answer. One shot. Look at this. Any questions? Why multiply? Because I see B in denominator of this fraction and numerator of this fraction. And you know, according to rules of fraction multiplication, when you multiply, you cancel out this. Any questions so far? If you have question, ask me. If you don't ask, I go to next one. Okay. 95. Many students ask me 95. What is 95? Who did not read today? Raise your hand who would like to read. A lot of people, right? Evelyn K. Only slowly with intonation, not fast.
On the coordinate plane, the vertices of triangle ABC have coordinates A parentheses -3, 1, B parentheses 6, 2, and C parentheses 9, comma, -3. What are the coordinates of the triangle's median's intersection point?
Okay, thank you. So let me make a picture for illustration. I'm not going to use Cartesian coordinates, put all this number, wasting of time, just general observation of this problem. 95, property of median. To know what is median, pretend I have scale length triangle. Not isosceles, just scale in. And median is if I take any vertex and find middle of this side and connect this. This is the first median, median 1. Now I divide this by 2 equal parts and connect with opposite vertex. This would be median 2. And finally, I divide this side by 2 equal parts and connect with this vertex. And this is median 3. You know, great property, we did it in chapter 13. We mentioned this, that median, first of all, median of any triangle, they intersect in 1 point, always. Second, to find coordinate of this, we name it in math centroid. To find coordinate, you have to find average of these points. For instance, if you have, this is x1, y1, x2, y2, and this x3, y3, and this is point O, let's say. So O is point of intersection of all medians, and O has coordinates x1 plus x2 plus x3 divided by 3. And y coordinate is y1 plus y2 plus y3 divided by 3. Average of these coordinates to be consistent and also put the braces. So based on this, any questions so far? This is general, applicable for any triangle you have. Let me see what coordinate they give. They give coordinates h is -3, 1. B is 6, 2. And C is 9, -9, -3. If I wrote correctly. So how to find x of this coordinate? X of point O equals -3 plus 6 plus 9 divided by 3. How to find y coordinate of point O? Is 1 plus 2 plus -3 divided by 3. Simple manipulation with this number, you get the answer. To understand this 100%, 100. Okay, good. When you think that we're doing math related to SHSAT, and after that you never use it in your life. My point, math is everywhere. I can give example from my experience where we use it for let's say surgery. Okay, one of my major is orthotics, prosthetics, and biomechanics. I want to show how these questions related to what you do in surgery. Pretend if you're talking about knee, right? Schematically. Okay, it has 2 surfaces. The most complicated joint is knee joint. And when you bend your knee, we also have centroids. Only thin these surfaces is very complicated. It's not like wheel and center of your bicycle has one center. Every time for different positions, when this bones in this situation, and you make perpendicular to point of tangency and find radius of this curvature. After that, in next position, you find position of this is also perpendicular and radius of curvature. As a result, you get many points. And let's say some person has a difficulty with the surfaces. How usually they get surgery? They make a drill, make a hole in this knee, put special metal rod, and special devices will help him to move. But since this centroid of knee is very complicated, if you do wrong hole over there, instead of helping patient, he will suffer. And how visual you can make this hole? In this case, we have simple formula, we count this. But this is not easy. This is most complex joint of our body is knee joint. So what we did, we used physics. We put light markers, like small lamps here, everywhere. In the dark, when person bend his knee, in a film, pretend this is a film, in dark room, they have their different trajectories. After that, we use a laser, monochromatic light, and use diffractions. And diffractions always goes perpendicular to this aberrations. And when all these lights from after diffraction, they combine in one point, this is a centroid, every centroid for knee. After that, we put back this picture on patient knee. In surgery, they make hole exactly in this place. We get thousands of different operations using special device or walk of the Aganissan device. If you have time at the end of class, I show you this today. But this is idea. What we use behind the scene, use the same idea. After that, we decided to create an artificial joint. I can show this artificial joint if you'd like. Would you like to see artificial joint based on this idea? This #1 joint in the world, made of titanium, by my invention. It got all Brussels, all gold medals in Brussels International. And this is artificial joint for prosthetic devices. Now it's produced and used by best companies in the world. And this is the idea what we use here. So at the end, I will show, if you have time, I can show this few words how we use these formulas. Real joint for people with knee problems. Okay, this is about it. And diffraction, for diffraction, you get many patterns like this. Like this United States pattern. This is different countries. This related to diffractions. Why I'm telling about this? Because you're supposed to look on this problem not only like finding medium. Maybe it helps you in your life to solve some problems in different fields. Okay, good. This was 95. Now many students ask 96. Who would like to read 96? Okay, Anthony. 96.
From a group of 6 men and 5 women, 4 people should be selected to form a committee so that there are at least 3 men in the committee. How many different ways can it be done?
Okay, thank you. Nice problem. We did many problems like this. So let me see what is given. 96. It's related to combinatorics with so many problems like this. What is given in 96? Given. They said 4 people. 4 people. And in committee. A committee. Like this. In committee. And it's supposed to be greater or more than 3 men. This about it. What else? Given there are 6 men and 5 women. Anything else? What is greater or equals to 3 when total is 4? You can have 2 scenarios. For instance, one scenario. Let me write case A. For instance, we have 3 men, because this is 4 people, right? And 1 woman. Or in another situation, we can have 4 people and it will be 4 to 4 men. Anything else? No. So we have 2 scenarios. This is case B. What I did, I just wrote what is given. Now, remember, many times you use for combinatorics, for combination, this formula. C of n by r equals n factorial divided by r factorial divided by n minus r factorial. And factorial of number, let's say, of 3 factorial is product of all numbers all over the world. Start from this number, etc. So let's consider 2 different scenarios. Any questions so far? Please keep thinking if you understand this, right? Now, since we have 6 men, C number combination of 6 men by 3 equals 6 factorial divided by 3 factorial by 6 minus 3 factorial. Or this is 3 times 2 times 1. This is 3 factorial. This is 6 times 4, 5 times 4 times 3 factorial, instead of writing this. After that, cancel out this and this. 2 goes into 4 2 times. And 3 goes into 2 into 6 also 2 times. And if you multiply 10 times 2, it will be 20. What I did, I found how many combination of 3 we can get from a group of 4. This is what is given. Group of 6. This is number 2. But in this case, since we need 4 people and one of them is woman, we have to take consideration this also scenario, right? Because one is a woman. And how many women do we have? 5. So number of combination out of 5 women by 1 equals 5 factorial divided by 1 factorial multiply by 5 minus 1 factorial, or 5 times 4 factorial. 1 factorial is 1, and 5 minus 1 is 4 factorial. And you can easily simplify. You get 5 over 1, which is 5. Excellent. We found how many combination out of 5 women by 1 we can get in this situation for scenario A. Let me consider all these results later, but I want to also consider case B in this case, right? In case B. Why? When you have 4 men out of 6 people, right? This for case B, and this is for case A. Out of 6 by 4, what is it? It would be 6 factorial divided by 4 factorial multiply by 6 minus 4 factorial, which is 6 factorial. It's 6 times 5 times 4 factorial. Why did it? Because we have here 4 factorial. And this will be 2 factorial. 2 factorial is 2 times 1. So 4 factorial and 4 factorial cancel out. And 2 goes into 6 3 times. And you get 15. Let's analyze what we have. We have this 15. Now consider case scenario A. We have 20 and 5. If we have this 20, fundamental counting principle, group of 3 from 6, and group of 1 out from 5. You have 100 for this case, right? This is case number, step number 5. So far so good. Did we miss something? And in this case, we have 15. And the question is, how many different ways can it be done? Easy. Step number 6. For scenario case A, we have 100. For case B, we have 15. And this will be 115. This is classical example for combinations. And practically, it's not complicated if you understand algorithm. If you have a question, ask me. I step back. No questions? We solved this problem many times. We had special sessions. Raise your hand who understand up to this point everything. Students. Okay, good.
Dr. Farber,
Yes, question?
I have a question.
Yes.
Why did you multiply 20 and 5 but add the 15?
Because this is 2 different scenarios. This is case A. When you have, let's forget about this problem. We have 20 different combinations for men and 5 different combinations for women. If you use 3 combinations, it will be 20 rays. From each of these goes 5, and you count how many different combinations you have for case A. This is case A, put aside. Case B, independent, nothing to do. In case A, we have two shelves for men and for women. For case B, we have only one shelf. Why? Because in case B, we have only men. And now you combine together. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Good question, though. Few more questions? More questions. Okay, let's go to next one where you have many students. After that, I can go back. My request at home, read a few times, so you will see this is not complicated at all. Next, somebody read. Let me find this question for you, what you wrote here. This is question number 98. Number 98. Who would like to read it? Who did not read today? Okay, Emmanuel, please. 98. Can hear you, 2 seconds. You know this rule. Okay, forget about this. Want to get rid of dots? Leonard, please, 98.
At this time, Samantha has 3 times as many coins as Pamela has. The mother gives Samantha 2 coins and Pamela 3 coins every day. After 6 days, Samantha will have twice as many coins as Pamela. And how many days from now will Samantha have as many coins as Pamela?
Thank you. This is typical question we did in chapter 12, if you remember. And how to solve word problems. Algorithm, we use matrices. So who we participate here? Samantha. And the second is Pamela. We have 2 objects. Like in object-oriented programming, we have objects and property of these objects. Is number 98. What we know initially, amount or number of coins initially. And what they said, Samantha had 3 times more. They don't specify how many coins each of them have. So if this is x, this is 3x. The next. Every day they got some amount of coins from mommy. Every day the number of coins get. So for Samantha, mommy gave 2 coins. And for Pamela, they said 3. Look at what else they said. They said about days. Days. How many days? I will use this column a little bit wider and use half of this column. You will see in a moment why. Because we're talking about 200 days. In the beginning of this statement, the first clause is 6 days. So leave it like it is, and this is 6 days. Okay. So after 6 days, Pamela will get, initially she had 3x plus 2 times 6. And Pamela had initially x, but every day she getting 3 times 6. In addition, they said that this amount, this is 12, right? 3x plus 12. They said would be 2 times more than Pamela. X plus 18. Why? Because they said 3 times 6, 18. They said 2 times more in this text. Well, solve this equation. It's the same like 2x plus 36 minus 2x minus 2x minus 12 and minus 12. You can easily get what? X cancel out equals to 24. X equals to 24. So it means if I take different color, originally, I put here, originally, what is X? Pamela had 24, we know right now. And Samantha equals 3 times 24, which is 72. Very good. But we do not finish. They said for how many days they have the same amount of coins if they keep going in this algorithm. Let's use another y here. X already taken is number of days y. What is y? In 1 days, they will have the same amount of coins. Very often we split this column by 2 columns, and you can easily find that in 1 days, in y days, she after y days, Samantha would have 72 plus every day she getting 2 multiplied by number of days y this one. What about Pamela? She had originally 24 plus every day she gets 3 coins. Why? And they asked him how many days number of coins for Samantha equals to number of coins for Pamela. Can you write here 72 plus 2y equals 24 plus 3y minus 2y and minus 2y minus 24 and minus 24. Okay, after subtraction, you have 48 cancel out equals to y. So they ask you in how many days? The answer is y equals to 48 days. We did this coin problems, we practiced. What we did only, we combine your knowledge, adding just 1 more column. That's it. If you have any question, ask me.
Dr. Farber?
Yes, Emmanuel.
I said the answer, but my mic was muted. So can I say number 99?
Yes, just a second. No, I'll do no, not like this. I ask you randomly. You see, Emmanuel? When you don't expect, I ask you, not like this. You answer the question after they take pillow and sleep again. No way. We don't expect, I give you 2 seconds to read. Make sense?
Yes.
Yes. Your microphone cannot be muted at all. It was 98. Yes, now. Let me see, number 99. Well, in 99, we have a picture. Let me make a picture first of all. My request, students, on SHSAT, sometimes they give a picture which is not good at all. They're either too small and you don't see anything, right? Or sometimes no picture at all. Okay, let me make this picture first. Let's make this picture. And after that, I ask somebody to read. Be ready. Ask randomly somebody to read. 99. In 99, let me make this one. Kind of like this. And you have made points. Let me take a look. And we make a line segment which goes to parallel to this one. And we connect this with this vertex. Mhm. And now let me put some letters here. A, B, C, D. This E. Let's say this is F. And this is shaded. And this is, let's say, K and L. And this midpoint. Okay. What else do we know? That AC equals to 12. And BD equals to 8. Find area of triangle KBL. This is a question. Okay. So let's go step by step. Who knows how you name segment KL? Just raise hand. It has specific name. Hayden?
I think it's called a chord.
No, chord is, what is chord? Chord in a circle. If you connect two points on this circumference, you get a chord. This is not a chord. Okay, who knows how you name this segment? You know, like small kids, when they were asked, they get assignment. Name the shapes. They give this, and this. And one student did homework like this. You name it. This is John, this is Anne, and this is Sam. This is how he named this shape. What do they expect from him? Geometrical names, right? This is mid-segment. So step number one. KL is mid-segment. We did many times with you. Why mid-segment? If I take triangle, for instance, ACD, and in this triangle, this is given. This is middle of this side, and this midpoint of this side, and segment which connected midpoints is mid-segment. And property of mid-segment. Mid-segment always parallel to this side and equals to half of this. So if this side is 12, this mid-segment is 12 over 2, which is 6. Now we know this is 6. So far so good. Any questions? Now we study in chapter 13 the diagonal and point of rhombus and point of intersection. They bisect each other. What is it? If this is 8, so this piece is 4, and this piece is 4. Property of diagonal of rhombus. If you take any diagonal, for instance, this is 6, this is 6, this is 4, this is 4. Now, any questions so far? In addition, since KL is mid-segment, it cut not only this sides by half, but also this DE also by half. Number 2, you can write that EF equals to FD equals to 4 over 2, which is 2. Now I know this is 2, and this is 2. Because if you have a triangle mid-segment, this equals to this, this equals to this, and this equals to this, always. Property of mid-segment. Now, the last step. How to find area of this shaded area of triangle KBL? Like we did in 4th grade. Base times height divided by 2. I want to think about this. This base I found, this is 6. Base equals to 6. What about height? This height is BF. BF. This equals to 4 plus 2. 4 plus 2. Addition postulate. Agree? Yes or no? Let me write here. 4 plus 2. Divide by 2. Or 6 times 6 divided by 2. 2 goes into 6 3 times. 3 times 6 is 18. When you have this problem on the test, what are you supposed to do? Look at this. We didn't study too many formulas for triangle area. Main formula, which you know from 4th grade, is base times height divided by 2. My target is, you can write first of all like a target. Well, this is your target, base times height divided by 2. Find base instantly because mid-segment, and find height like I did. Multiply it, divide by 2. Any questions, students?
Dr. Farber,
Yes.
can I go to the bathroom?
Okay, Perla and everybody, you can go to the bathroom. Don't forget to come back. You have 2 or maximum 3 minutes, okay? And we continue, everybody. I want you to have more concentration on solving problem. Go to bathroom. I will erase. If you don't have a question, erase. When you come back, raise your hand. Again, students, when you come back, raise your hand. Waiting for you. Keep it raised, students. I'm waiting when everybody come back. Okay, students, raise hand and keep it raised when you come back. Good. Lina, read please number 102. Upload.
2 fair dice are rolled. What is the probability of getting 3 on the first die and not getting 5 on the second die?
Thank you. We did it many times. 1 or 2. So probability they get 3 on the first. It would be 1/6. And with the second, on the second, we probability to get 5 on the second equals also 1/6. But probability not 5 to the second. You know, total of 2 complementary events always equals to 1. So A equals to 1 minus 1 minus 1/6, which is 5/6. And finally, probability, they ask you what? Probability you're getting 3 and not 5. And not 5. So if you have n, it's always product. You have 1/6, this one, multiplied by 5/6. It will be 5 over 26. We did many times. This is Google Gaga questions, just practice more. This was 1 or 2. Many students ask what is next is 1 or 3. If you have any question, ask me. 1 or 3 is not a word problem. Let me do this. 1 or 3. S over M equals to 12. And M less than -4. Find maximum value for S. Well, we have equation in inequality. So always, this is a pattern without thinking. We have equation inequality in one questions, always start from equation, because inequality has infinite set of solution, can have an equation only one. So express one variable in terms of another one. It's the same like O1, and you will get 12M equals to S. We need to get M. Divide by 12 both parts. M equals to S over 12. Now grab this and plug in over there. S, the step number 1. The step number 2. Instead of M, I use S over 12 less of -4. How to solve this? I multiply both part by 12. I get S less than -4 times 12, -48. If I put a number line, this is S, and this is -48, it excluded, and solution set is over there. So the greatest possible value, S max, equals to -49. This is -49. Again, pattern inequality equation. Always start from equation and substitute inequality.
Dr. Farber,
Yes.
I have a question, but why wouldn't it be -48 if you solved it to be at S for it?
No, no. It's strict inequality. What is it? It means less. It's not included 48. You were correct if it were like this. So let me change a little bit. If it were like this, in this case, you were correct. But since we don't have this red line, this is less than -48. So -48 is excluded, not included. This is even whole over there. You see, it's not shaded. Whole. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
So everything less than 48, but not 48. In calculus, we name it vicinity. In close to this value, to this point values, but not included. Okay, it was 1 or 3. Okay, what is it? 1 or 4. 1 or 4. Let me make a picture first. You also make a picture. Your picture is supposed to be bigger than this one. Not big, but bigger than you have. And make it nicer, right? Okay. This is right angle. And this isosceles trapezoid, kind of like this. Let me see what is given here. A, B, C, D. B. C, D. What else is given? This CAD equal to 30 degrees. Isosceles trapezoid, this equals to this. And CD, where is CD? CD equals to 4. Find perimeter of what? Trapezoid. Question mark. Well, look at the students. To find perimeter, if this is 4 and trapezoid is isosceles, this 4 is well. So far so good. By definition of isosceles trapezoid. This is step number 1. Step number 2. Since this triangle is right triangle, angle D is complementary to this angle, equals to 90 minus 30, which is 60 degrees. This is step number 2. Since this is 60 degrees angle G, and trapezoid is isosceles, this angle also 60 degrees. Because base angle of isosceles trapezoid, like the same two triangles, are the same. This is step number 3. Step number 4. About addition postulate for angles. If this is 60 and this is 30, this angle also 30. So 30 plus 30 is 60. This is step number 4. If too fast, ask me. In trapezoid, what is trapezoid? Quadrilateral where two sides are parallel. And if they parallel and this transversal, this angle 30 and this angle 30. Why? Because we name it alternate interior angles. I will make different color to specify in order you easy
Dr.
to.
Farber,
Yes.
is the angle next to A also 30?
This one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Since this is 60 and this is 30 given, 60 minus 30, this angle is 30. Now, look at this. If you had time, I would write all these steps, but I deliberately specify steps in order you can trace it at home. So this is step number 5. And this alternate interior. Alternate interior angle. Transversal. Now, look at this. Step number 6. Look at triangle ABC. In this triangle, this base angle 30, in this base 30. You can make assumption this is what? Equal, this is isosceles. Why? Because this 30, this. If base angles are the same, this side's also the same. So from here, BC also equals to 4. Look at this. This and this, they're the same, since triangle I just prove it isosceles. So far so good. To find perimeter of trapezoid, I have to know the side AD, 7, AD, in triangle ACD, which is the right triangle. You have property of 30 degrees angle. I just remind you again. Property of angle 30 degrees. When you have 30 degrees angle, the side, I just remind you again, opposite of 30 degrees angle equals, actual not side, the leg, better to use leg. The leg opposite of 30 degrees equals to half of hypotenuse. You remember, if we have right triangle, and let's say this is 30, and this is 10, this leg would be half, 5. If this is 4, hypotenuse 2 times bigger, this is 8, 2 times bigger. So from this, AD equals to 8. Now I have everything. This 8, this is 4, this is 4, this is 4. Step number 8. Perimeter of trapezoid equals 8 plus 4 plus 4 and plus 4. Or 4 times 3. If you add them up, you get this perimeter. So based on whatever we did, simple logic. If you have any question, ask me. I step back. This was wonderful. If you don't have questions, many soon ask number 108. 108. What we have in 108? In 108, we have a square circle. Not good. Kind of like this. We have, pretend this is a circle. Let me bring better compass next time from Germany, not this one. Мало времени next time. And now I want to describe this circle in hexagon. Kind of on this. And I'm gonna connect this somehow. Maybe not the best, but anyway. I connect this and this. And this and this. Okay. So in addition, if I connect this one also, okay, this what we have. Regular hexagon, the side length is 2 centimeters. What is a regular? All sides are the same, all angles the same. 2 centimeters. All sides 2 centimeters. Shaded area. The shaded area have to find. Well, how to find area shaded? Area shaded equals to area of hexagon minus area of circle. That's my target. Okay. I just remind you, since hexagon has 6 sides, every central angle, angle equals 360. Why? Because 360 is entire circle, and you divide by 6, which is 60 degrees. So if every angle is 60 degrees, let's say this is 60, this 60, all of them 60. And look at this. And system is symmetrical. On all these segments are the same. These two angles also the same. How to find these two angles? 180 minus 60 divided by 2, which is 60 degrees. I just remind you that in hexagon, all these angles are 60 and all triangles equilateral. All of them equilateral. If this two, this two, this two, etc. How to find area of hexagon? Area of hex, this step number 1. Equals 6 area of equilateral triangle. Triangles equals 6, and you study area for equilateral, which is s squared, square root of 3 over 4. And s, I just remind you, is a side of equilateral triangle. In our case, every side equals to 2. I can in one shot get this value. 6 times 2 to the second times square root of 3 over 4. 2 to the second is 4. 4 and 4 cancel out. And I get area of hexagon 6 square root of 3. What about how to find area of circle? I take different color. And you know, to find area of circle, you have to get radius. I use different color. And make this radius. You know, radius always perpendicular to point of tangency. And this triangle A, B, C, D. First of all, equilateral triangle. This, and this, all of them too. Second of all, so triangle ABD, equilateral as well. And BD is altitude and median and bisector. In equilateral triangle or isosceles, median is altitude and bisector. It means AD equals to 1. Now, how to find BD? So triangle ABD equilateral, and this is right triangle. BD to the second Pythagorean theorem. BD to the second plus 1 to the second equals to 2 to the second. Remember? A squared plus B squared equals to C squared. Or BD to the second plus 1 equals to 4. Minus 1 minus 1. You get BD to the second equals to 3. From another side, I take different color and specify that BD is our radius. And this is radius equals to radius to the second power. How to find area of circle? This step number 2, this step number 3, step number 4. Area of circle equals pi r squared. But since r squared equals to 3, equals to 3 pi. And the very last step, area shaded equals again area of hex minus area of circle equals to 6 square root of 3. This value minus 3 pi. Check mark. Just few steps. Did they use any information we did not cover? No. If you have any question, ask me. I step back. Your goal at home, do many times this unless you do the same steps and fast with understanding what you're doing. It was 108. Next, many students ask me 112. What is 112? Okay, 112. Emmanuel. Let's see, I promise to do it randomly. Okay, Alexandra, 112.
Points A, B, and C divide the segment MN into 4 equal parts. If MA equals 12 and CN equals 18, what is the possible length of the segment MN?
Thank you, nice reading. So if you look at this problem, they don't specify order. In many questions, when you study addition postulate, not necessarily they give order. Not necessarily B is supposed to go after A. It could be scrambled. But what is important here, 112, they give it two segments, MA equals to 12, and CN equals to 18. Why they said 4 equal parts. 4 equal parts. 4 equal, right? 4, how many? How to find 4 equal parts? Let's use prime factorization. This is 2, 6, 2, 3. 2, 9, 3, 3. And this will be represented. What is GCF? Greatest common factor. GCF of 12 and 18. We have smallest part 2 and 3, right? 2 times 3, which is 6. So we have 4 equal parts. Each part supposed to be 6 units. Now think how to place these numbers. So, and length supposed to be length of the segment 6 times 4, which is 24. This is length. Now let's illustrate this. I already solved it. If you want to just illustrate for yourself, I can do this. For instance, this is ours. Each part is 6, and we have 4 parts, it's 24. Typical GCF. Let me put here M, for instance, C, A, B, and N. So this is 6, this is 6, this is 6, this is 6. Just illustration, not necessarily, but we got this. Simple GCF. Okay, practically, and I want to explain you one of the steep question. After that, I can go back and explain whatever you ask me. For instance, most students ask number 3 in tip, or number 2, whatever you have. Let me see where you have more students. Number 2, more students. But doesn't matter, this is very similar. Number 2, tip 39, number 2. In previous class, we had similar question on SHSAT 29-2. Let's make a picture. Let's say you have a rectangle. Kind of rectangle. I combine these two sides like this, and this is some point E, A, D, C, and B. What is given? AE, this piece, to EC, to this piece, and area ADE, ADE, ADE equals to what? 24. Find area of rectangle. Well, step number 1. Addition postulate. If this is 3x, this is 5x, so this must be 8x. What I did, I added this plus this segment, 8x. Now, according to addition postulate, if you have common vertex, and you have to read at the beginning. Look at this. It's very important if you read this, or even highlight for you. Highlight it. This is a key thing for all these questions. It's written here. Look at this. Two triangles with the same height shown above. If the ratio of sides A to B, then the ratio of areas also A to B. So this key thing, how to solve this problem, area of triangle HDE, which is 24. It has base 3 axes. An area of triangle ADC, this one, okay, has base 8 axes, and area, I don't know, I can use x again because x already taken. From cross multiplication, y times 3x equals 24 times 8x. The y by 3x, both parts cancel, 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 cancel. 3 goes into 24. 8 times it will be 64. I don't finish. Why I did it? They said it have 2 triangles with common altitude. Ratio of areas to triangles proportional to ratio of these bases of these triangles. So in one shot, I found area of triangle ADC. How to find area of rectangle? Easy. Area of rectangle, you know the theorem. Diagonal of rectangle split by 2 congruent triangles equals 2 areas of ADC. Triangle ADC. Which is 2 times 64, 128. Actually, in 2 lines. In 2 lines. So again, if I give these tips, read this and try to understand this simple what you did. So if you have 2 triangles with the same altitude, so ratio of their areas equals to ratio of their bases because height is the same, common. Now, I explained you all most request questions today, but if you still have difficulties, we can work more. Okay, I give you more time for this today, as usually, because we have common goal. You have to get the highest score for this test. Plus, if you'd like at the end, I show a few ways few slides how I use this idea of median we use today for centroids of knee and creating new units, which we produce now in rocket science industry. Now, questions? If you have any
Dr. Farber,
yes.
we didn't go over number 101 yet.
101. What's the difficult? Let me give you a 101. I give you a chance and I explain you this. Why they did it wrong?
Dr. Farber?
Yes.
All right, but before we move on to like 101, can you possibly explain number 3 for tips?
Sure.
Thank you.
Let me start tips number 3 very fast. And after that 101. So for 101, I will change this. So again, students, many times they have mistakes. I have seen, let's say last year, I gave student problem with shaded area. Imagine that I give you what they're doing. They have a circle and inscribe this triangle, and they ask you to find, let's say, this part of shaded area. What they give you impossible to solve because if diameter of the circle is 10 and they give you side equals to 30, is it possible to fit bigger shape in smaller shape? What do you think? Not at all. It doesn't fit. There is famous book of Yaroslav Gashek, about great soldier Schweik. In order not to participate in the war, he decided to imitate that he is a little bit cuckoo. And when he answers the questions, it's funny book, you read this classic world literature. He said, when somebody asked, what can you say about our Earth? He said, Earth contained, built on two spheres, outer sphere and inner sphere. And inner sphere is much, much bigger. Is it possible? What do you think? Similar like this. So that's why 101 has no sense also. I will change it and we solve. Now, for number 3, right? You know, of last three, number 3.
Dr. Farber?
Yes.
I have to go. I need to go somewhere.
Okay. Have a nice day. I'll set this class me to go, okay? Good. Where you go at night? To bed?
No, I have to go somewhere.
Okay, anyway. Try to work hard next time. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, you'll get 10,000 in it. Look at this, make a picture. Well, kind of like this, not to scale. This is B, this is E, this A, D, and C. And they give you a ratio 2, 3 to 4. This is 2x, 3x, 4x. Area of ABD, where is ABD? Area of triangle ABD equals to what? 40. Find area of triangle BDC. Look at this, students. I take different color. BDC has base 4x. ABD has a base of 5x. Right? Just add this addition for sure. And when this area ABD, area of triangle ABD equals to 40, base is 5x. But in triangle BDC, base is 4x. And area, I don't know. That's it. Just one line, cross multiplication. Y times 5x equals 40 times 4x. Divide by 5x. Cancel, 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 cancel. 5 goes into 48 times, 4 times 8, 32. One line. Again, if you study this chart, I give you menu like this, okay? You can easily do this in one shot. Now, did I answer the question?
Yes, thank you.
Welcome. Student, who understand up to this point everything? Raise hand. Now, let's do this. Who does not understand, ask me. 101, let me find. But I want to change, I want to make some corrections. Try to solve it together. Write down 101, new version, instead of this version. Sometimes very difficult to understand what they mean in these questions. Remember, like yesterday in the previous class, Georgie found another ambiguity in questions in squares, which was great. when, write it down, when circle sees area double, it equals to triple new circumference. But since it's different unit of measurement here, you can understand only numerically. So value is the same, but unit of measurement different. Okay, the question is, what is the area of a circle with a radius twice as small as the radius of the circle C. This is better. I will make some also editing here for grammar, but this is idea. Would you like to try to solve it or need explanation? Wanna try by yourself first? It's 101. Okay. Let me solve this together. You're out of time, so pretend we have a circle. And radius of the circle is R. And this is circle C. And area of the circle, area 1, equals pi r squared. And circumference 1 would be 2 pi r. Now, step by step. We have bigger circle. And area of this circle, area 2, equals double, equals 2 pi r squared. Why? Because it's double. What is circumference 2? Circumference 2 would be 3 times bigger than this circumference. 3c1 or 3 times 2 pi r would be 6 pi r. That's what you know. And this equals to this numerical. Even though we have different unit of measurement, number could be the same. For instance, you have 6 candies, and you can have, let's say, die, which has 6 faces. Just cancel this. Unit of just numbers. If they equal to each other, I can write this is 1, this is 2. I can, step number 3, I can write 2 pi r squared equals to 6 pi r. It's given, they equal, 3 times bigger. Okay. How to solve this? We did many times. Minus 6 pi r and minus 6 pi r. We have 2 pi r squared minus 6 pi r equals to 0. Or I can put 2 r beyond the parenthesis, 2 pi r beyond the parenthesis, 2 pi r beyond the factorize. And what is left? R minus 3, right? Equals to 0. When after factorization, when it's equals to 0, two cases. Either this r equals to 0, or r minus 3 equals to 0, or r equals to 3. R equals to 0 has no sense for this problem, it's obvious. But I consider this when r equals to 3, numerically this value is the same. Now, answer the last, let's use this space. I use this space. Okay. Find area of circle. So this radius, you know, this is 3. And this is even smaller. This radius equals to 3 over 2. Why? Because twice small at this one. And ask you to find area. Area of 3. Area of 3 equals 5. Instead of radius, I put 3 over 2 to the second power. Okay. And I have 9 pi over 4 or 2.255. This makes sense. Without this bridge, ambiguity in this problem. Did I answer the question? This is not complicated, right? Understand, raise your hand. Let me see. Okay, good. So you did good job. What is my, if you have more questions, ask me. I can answer.
Dr. Farber,
Yes, Lina.
are we out of time or can we go over one more question?
Sure.
Can we go over
Tell me and read this question. What number is it?
111?
111. Let me find this one. Yes, ask me this. Read this question, 111.
You have in your pocket 10 coins. 9 of them are ordinary coins with 1 tail and 1 head, and the 10th coin has 2 heads. You randomly pick 1 coin from your pocket. What is the probability that this coin will land on heads?
Okay, thank you. Nice reading, Lina. It was 111. In 111, here's what they give you. Let me illustrate. They said 10 coins. 9 is ordinary or normal. So 9 coins is ordinary. What is ordinary? They explain. They have each of these 2 heads each. 2 heads and 2 tails. And 1 is very special. It has 2 heads. So how many heads we have total? Complete this graph And total, we have 2 heads plus, start from left part. 2 times 9, because we have 9 coins. Okay. We have 9 heads from this one, because we have, just a second, each, we have 1 tail and 1 head, like this. I make adjustment for this view. So now it's fine. We have 9 heads for this one, and 2 heads over there, which is 11 heads. Well, you randomly pick 1 coin from this pocket. What is the probability the coin will land on heads? How many total sides? This is step number 1. Step number 2. Total sides. Since we have 10 coins, each coin has 2 sides. We have 20 sides. And what they ask you? They ask you what is probability? What is probability that coin will land on head? So we'll get on head. You know, by definition, after for probability, favorable outcomes is 11 out of 20, because we have total 11 heads. So far, so good. Did you answer the question?
Yes, thank you.
Welcome. How do you feel about this test? Much better? Was it a difficult test? Okay. So what is my request for home? You redo everything, and I send you assignment, what we have to do, and plus new packages.
Dr. Farber, I have a question. So in September, are we still going to continue meeting up on Tuesdays and Fridays?
Yes, at the same time.
Okay, thank you.
We're doing up to the test everything. My request, you have some nice opportunity to really improve your points. Follow all my assignments that I give you. Today is 29th. Redo notebook, you know what is it. Redo mistakes. Redo mixture 5, number 1. This is package 5. Redo SHSAT 4, which I explained today. Number 87-114. Keep in mind, they only change numbers on the test. Very similar. Okay. Redo. Chapter 3. Diagnostic plus retest. Mixture. Number 5. This is package name, right? And assignment number 2. I give you a little bit with mixtures. You have to redo T29, number 2, 3. You get another test. I don't remember pages, is right? You get SHSAT. I give you this number. Number 5886. This part. You get another handout. Chapter 4. I will specify exercises for you. Okay. Let me underscore by red. These packages you get by email later today or in the morning, depends. And I see based on my AI, your participation, some questions. Okay, so far so good. If you'd like to see a few words about centroids, I can show if you're tired. So, would you like to watch your examples of centroids on it takes 3 minutes, 3-4 minutes? Okay, who prefer to go to bed right now? Okay, good. Who would like to watch this again? Raise your hand. Let me show this, few minutes. Давай включим screen. So again, my point is, what we're doing here is not SHSAT prep. Math is everywhere. I can give you thousand examples from my practice, from any scientific sources, but this is from my experience, how we use these centroids. Yes, not like this. Это что, PowerPoint? Okay, I give example. Can you see my screen? Yes. Okay, this what we did for triangle is simple centroids. But when we study knee, right, this one artificial, this mathematical model of this, centroids is pretty complicated. Okay, the knee joint is most complicated joint in the body. And when you do, or I did it for Europe, this, when you do surgery, you make hole and put some pivot to this. If you're talking about three-dimensional models, is three-dimensional model, 3D, right? And based on these centroids, you can approximate it by different mechanisms. This we name it Guy mechanism. And what we did, we put markers on different bones. In the dark, when a person bends his knee, in the dark on the film, they have different aberrations, or like simple words, slots, right? Very thin, very narrow. And you put a laser monochromatic, you have usually diffractions, you know how move lights. Diffractions always goes perpendicular to aberrations. And since our movement is very complicated in knee, you're looking for intersection of different beams of light. And the brightest point is the center of centroids. And after that, in surgeon, they use specific special apparatus, Volkov-Anganesianus apparatus. They make a pivot. You see, it goes, they drill through this knee. And this mechanism helps to make distance between the special mesh gears over there. It helps make distance between these congruent surfaces, and person does not feel pain. And finally, his knee becomes better and better. Based on this, I analyze the centroids and build another mechanism. This is actually how to treat person knee. And this one, when person during amputation losing his leg somehow, we created the centroids, and after that make this mechanism which I show you. And this mechanism works better than everything in the world right now. There's a lot of different, you see, everywhere we use math. And person can move using this new mechanism in different modification. like sometimes you can't recognize that he using prosthetics. And this is even a long stem disarticulation, this knee. And this knee, by my pattern, we produce in rocket space industry. You know this person, this Gagarin, right? This one. And all this knee, they won a gold medal in Brussels in the World Exhibition. And now we use for many years in different countries. This one of this. And what behind the scenes? Centroids. What behind the scenes? Equations. So keep in mind, math is great. What we're doing is not only for preparation for SHSAT, right, students? We're out of time, so we spend with you extra like 40 minutes probably, but it's worth it. So practice more, students. Let me make it screen again. Can you see whiteboard right now? And this how this device look like. We have many different level of it for kids, for grown up, for long stem disarticulation. This how it works. Titanium, modern technology. See? Behind it, maybe you always remember this problem about medium. I can give you this kind of example for many problems we have here from our experience. If you don't have any questions, do you have any questions, students? If you don't, be strong, be well, be optimistic, try to work, improve your points, and see you next time. Enjoy math. Bye.
Thank you, bye.
Bye. Have a good night.
Bye. Take care.